hosts, Brittnaiye and Doris Atkins. How you guys doing today?
Doing awesome. How about you?
Pretty good. How's your day going, Miss Doris?
It's going up fabulous.
Miss Brittnaiye, how's your day?
I've had better, but I'm getting through.
It's getting through it. It's one of those things, guys. We're so happy to have you here. And yes, we have a guest. We have a beautiful dog.
Name Buddy.
His name is Buddy. Well, this topic, guys, is called World News, and we want to get started on world. And what better to start with Trump with the COVID-19? Obviously, remember he said it wasn't, COVID wasn't this, wasn't that, and he didn't have to wear a mask, and now he has COVID-19. That's crazy. COVID-19. Now, the thing that I'm trying to understand is here, Trump's position says on Wednesday that the president has COVID-19 antibodies. Though experts say it's unclear what this means for his recovery. Of note today, the president's labs demonstrated detectable levels of SARS-CoV-2 LG antibodies from labs drawn Monday, October 5th. Dr. Sean Conley wrote in a public memorandum referring to the virus that causes COVID-19. So having said that, is how is he getting better this fast after just a few days, a couple of days? It doesn't make sense to me. So I mean, Miss Atkins, can you touch on this Trump stuff?
Well, I think it's kind of too soon for him to be going. I just read where he's returned to the Oval Office on Wednesday, breaking isolation after his hospitalization for coronavirus. And an ongoing outbreak reached through the staff. Now, we have been talked about, it's been widespread that we should take procedures to protect ourselves as well as others.
Right.
And so even with the city being shut down, why would we just have to take responsibility.
Absolutely.
I agree. My question is, I kind of read between the lines and stuff.
Right.
It's kind of ironic that he tested positive and 14 days of quarantine leads right into the next debate.
Oh yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right?
It's kind of like, oh, okay, so you want to be unbothered until it's time to debate again.
Right.
So I'm kind of peeping this out, like, do he really have quarantine? Is he really tested positive?
Right.
After all this time, you've been going without a mask. Only person in the nation going without a mask, and now you test positive.
That's crazy.
During political impact season.
Well, it doesn't tell us if he's neutralizing the virus. It doesn't tell us if he's infectious or not. It doesn't tell us if he will have a long-lasting immunity or anything like that. So like you said, why it seems convenient. It seems convenient, that he's having COVID-19 but now, why did he drive by though? Didn't you see that part where he drove by and was waving at his fans in the car? Did you get a chance to see that? How about you, Miss Brittnaiye? Did you see that?
No.
Well, he drove by. Okay, so he could let his fans know he was okay. He drove by in the back of his voters or whoever. His fans, the people that's waving.
He's the only president that calls his followers fans.
Right. That's crazy.
Everybody else say supporters.
Supporters.
He says fans.
Man, this is so crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So, Dr. Rice, an associate professor in pulmonary and critical care medicine, he's the one that says, where you can't tell if he has long-lasting immunity or not. You can't tell. So your experience with hearing about the COVID-19, what have you heard, Miss Doris, as far as do you get any kind of immunity after you've caught it, or have you heard?
No, I haven't heard that you get any type of immunity. It's just it's like a virus. You have to wear it out, But what's alarming is the effect that it has on the body, and it affects different people differently. Everybody doesn't go through the same symptoms or everything. Any immunity to it? No, I have not. I've heard about a virus that's in testing stages, but no immunity.
Well, I want to change topics now. I want to talk about new Nollywood film shines a light on human trafficking in Nigeria. This is a topic for you, right?
Okay.
And so, dressed in a transparent and colorful blouse, a sex worker in Lagos, the commercial center of Nigeria, jumps out the window of a room at a party to avoid having sex with a potential customer. I wonder what that's about. Okay, she is seen, heels in her hand, running away from the party and eventually getting into a bus, heading back to a brothel where she lives with other sex workers. So what do you guys know about that as far as Nigeria is concerned?
Well, I've heard about the sex trafficking, not only in Nigeria but here as well. But it's pretty harsh.
Right.
It's pretty harsh. There are young girls, young people being taken away from families into other countries to do this type of thing. So it's a very real thing, a very serious thing. So we need to be really watchful on that.
Right, man.
Wow.
How about you, Miss Brittnaiye?
Well, this article says 91% of the victims trafficked are Nigerian women.
Really?
And their traffickers have sexually exploited more than half of them. Wow. And it also says that every year tens of thousands of people are trafficked from Nigeria.
Man, I wonder why. I kind of wonder why it's like that. Why is Nigeria the place where these things happen? Why is Nigeria? Is it because of laws there? Is it because it's easier? I mean, why do you think it's easier there in Nigeria?
Well, I don't really think it's easier because we have a lot of human trafficking issues here that go untouched, mainly because a lot of the people that are funding it are higher ups, if you will. So they kind of go hush hush about it here in the States. But Nigeria is a very, very highly populated country.
Right.
And the economics in Nigeria are low.
Really?
So people, although sometimes the country might be affluent, but that money never makes it to the people.
Right.
So if you think of it, those are the type of crimes that are popular in low-income areas typically.
Okay.
So if you think of it that way, sex sells.
Right.
Right? So why would a criminal not choose sex as opposed to drugs, which they can get shot and killed with?
Right.
Like thieving, you get killed when you steal from somebody.
Right.
The possibility to lose your life committing other crimes is greater than sex trafficking.
Man, that is crazy. We have another topic that this is kind of funny to me. Ms. Brittnaiye, tell us about this topic.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. So, where we are in 2020, apparently, a transgendered man files a pregnancy discrimination suit against Amazon.
Really?
According to this. So it says, Sean Simmons claims he was harassed and denied a promotion with the online giant after telling his boss he was pregnant.
Really?
So if you think about it, a transgender man was born a woman and chose to become a man. Transgender to a man. But somehow during that, I'm now a man, I still have woman parts.
Right.
That means I can still bear life, right? So there's this confusion or this conflict of, I'm a man, I want you to tell me, I want you to call me a man, I don't want to pass as a man, but I still have the gift of bear life. So explain how.
Well, I know this guy, his last name is Simmons. He complained to Human Resources he was placed on paid leave, according to the suit.
Okay.
And when he returned from leave, Simmons says he was demoted to item picker, which requires him to lift large bags of dog food and other heavy items. This is from the New Jersey Law Journal. So, one, I wonder why I mean, obviously, I wonder why we have to treat him a certain way. It's kind of like, we're treating black people a certain way, right? Or we're treating a gay person a certain way. It's a transgender man. He's being treated a certain way. So, Ms. Doris, what do you think about that?
Wow. First of all, not to be biased or anything.
Right.
You are who you are.
Right.
Now, even the stimulus, not the stimulus, but the, what is this that we have to, census, I'm sorry. The census is talking about when you approach someone and you ask them, what color are you? What's your nationality? What's your sex? Whatever they tell you, you have to go with.
Right.
So basically, the way the laws are trying to come out is that you are who you say you are, and the people want to be respected as such.
Right.
So it's a hard thing to think about, family wise, but you want to respect people for who they are. So if Miss Shonda wants to be Mr. Mack, and I have to look at Mr. Mack as being Mr. Mack and respect Mr. Mack for who he is and go with that.
Right.
And so therefore now the question is about how could you come up pregnant? Obviously that's crossing the line, okay? So that's going a little bit far because female and female can't produce. So we had to have a male and a female get together in order for that to come through. So not unless we do artificial insemination, but then if that's the case, why did you become a male?
Well, I'd like to know, if anybody can tell me this, I'd like to know, how is this possible? Maybe there's new things going on. Can a transgender male get pregnant? Apparently so, but do anyone know anything? Is that possible?
The only thing that changed was the operation. The physical body is still the same.
Right. Maybe can a fetus be planted there? I don't know. Can it? Brittnaiye's looking.
Dr. J.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Dr. J. If I decide I want to be Brandon instead of Brittnaiye,
Right.
I still got woman parts, right?
Right.
I can cut my hair and make myself look like a man, but it's one thing that I cannot do.
What can't you do?
I can't plant a seed.
That's true. That's true.
And vice versa. If you decide to put a wig on a dress on and you want to become Jamila,
Right.
there's one thing you can't do.
Right.
Let's have a baby, right?
That's true.
Okay.
Well, I do know one thing though, having said all this. I love me some me. Guys, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about our next topic.
I never love me some
We'll be getting on our next segment, which is Wisdom Talk, and we'll talk about that next. This is the Dr. James McConnell TV Network TV show with co-hosts Doris Atkins and Brittnaiye Wise. How you guys doing today?
Awesome. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. How about you, Ms. Brittnaiye?
I'm sleepy.
I love your hairdo.
Oh, thank you.
It looks good, and I love those earrings.
Thank you. I'm a African Nubian princess today.
I love it.
It just came out of Halloween, so.
Well, then we've completed our World News segment, and we want to talk about Wisdom Talk.
Yeah.
And on Wisdom Talk, we're going to talk about a specialty of Miss Brittnaiye, which is importance of movement in dancing. Well, my experience here is dancing can be a way to stay fit for people of all ages, such as shapes and sizes. It has a wide range of physical and mental benefits, including improved condition, of your heart, lungs, increased muscular strength, endurance, and motor fitness. Now that is for that part of it, of people that's trying to, gain weight, lose weight, stay fit, all that kind of stuff. But dancing also is about movement. It's just about, hey, moving to the groove, right? And so I used to dance a lot back when I was young, but as I've gotten older now, I'm more of a looker. I watch people dancing. I know Miss Brittnaiye, she loves to dance. So on that topic, I will move over to Miss Brittnaiye because she's an expert in this field. Miss Brittnaiye.
I'm an expert.
You're an expert.
I guess I am an expert. I started dancing before I started walking. I got rhythm in my bones, so I used to dance to anything with a rhythm. A car starting, a ceiling fan, or whatever. I'm going to dance to it. The importance of dancing is dancing clears your mind. Dancing is very therapeutic for many people. If you really just want to lift somebody's spirits, play their favorite song. And you'll find that they'll start dancing. There's also a segment where they're testing out music as therapy for Parkinson's disease.
Really?
And they're saying that music increases the endorphins for Parkinson's disease, which, Parkinson's is the less endorphins you have, the less movement you have.
So you're saying that music can help the dolphins in the sea? No, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean. I had to say that, Miss Brittnaiye. It was just funny.
Can I punch him? Can I punch him on TV?
Okay.
Look.
For the viewers that don't know.
I already said I'm sleepy. So.
What is the endorphins? Explain.
Okay, so that's your feel-good hormones. Your brain releases different hormones for different things that you're doing, whether it's running outside or, as a woman, there are different hormones that are released when you're either making a baby, having a baby, producing milk to feed a baby.
Right.
Those are different hormones that your brain and your body is producing.
Gotcha.
So your endorphins is a type of hormone. That's the feel-good hormone. When you exercise real hard,
okay,
and you kind of get that high feeling,
gotcha,
and you feel real good, that's your brain releasing that hormone.
Okay.
But that helps with movement. And
awesome. People
with Parkinson's disease have a decrease in that hormone.
I got you.
But music helps produce that hormone.
Right.
So movement and dance is vital. The body was made to move. What about you, Miss Doris?
I agree with you. The body is definitely made to move, and you are so right. You could be having just a humdrum day, but put that music on, and the whole atmosphere changes. You get into this groove, and you start moving. Next thing you know, you done clean the whole house.
Right.
So music is definitely therapeutic. I agree with you, and the importance of dancing and moving is that we have to keep our bodies moving. The mechanics, we got to keep it going on. Like go get your WD-40 and whatever, squeak up this
right.
Mr. Oil Man, Mr. Oil Can, or whatever, and so that we can move. Because as we age, our bodies do change, and things do not work as though as when you were younger. So it is very important to move, and dancing is a great way of doing that. Because you're starting to move, as you say, unmechanically. You just, flowing with the music.
Right.
And so you're doing a whole lot of more good for your body than you're thinking.
Right.
It's good for the mind, it's good for the soul, it's good for the body, all the above.
I love it. Well, actually, that brings us into our next topic, and that's the power of music. Mm-hmm. So the power of music. So me personally, let's say as a young person, the power of music probably started with like rap, right? Like rap. I was definitely, as a teenager, NWA and people like that, groups like that, was big on me. I played in my car. So a lot of times the power of music, believe it or not, some of that rap music is not bad or good. Obviously music can make people do a lot of different things. But I knew a guy that a Tupac song made him shoot a cop when he get out. And I remember he said at the trial, he said, man, I was listening to Tupac, he was talking about killing cops, and I got hyped up, I got upset at the cop, and I'm thinking about it, and I shot him. Well, obviously he took away, the cop died. So obviously I'm sure he's still in prison, and we was 16, 17 years old. And so he's let a song put that kind of impression on him. But that's one negative power of music. But the positive side of it is like you were saying just a little bit earlier with dancing, Miss Doris, where the power of music can put you in all kind of moods. See, in that case, it was someone that had a weak mind, and it allowed them to take action. But on the positive side, NWA was a group that it's entertainment. NWA, rap, all kind of, when it was gangster music or just regular rap, it was just entertainment. Then I started getting more into R&B as I became in my 20s, R&B and slow. So I started liking more music. As it pertains to, let's say, jazz or blues, I wasn't really that kind of person, but I would do it because I heard other people sometimes. I had friends of mine that say, hey man, I cook and play jazz. I'll cook and play blues, and I'll eat when it's about. And I tried it just to see, and it was kind of different than, sitting, eating, and it being quiet. So I'll do that sometimes to change up the vibe, but I'm really not a blues or jazz person. I'm more of a rap, R&B, slow pop type of person. So I love a lot of different artists. Growing up, like I loved Michael Jackson. I loved, like right now, I love Chris Brown and Her, and so many more. I listen to so many. And that leads into the, I have a daughter that's an R&B / pop / slow, and her name is Garcia Parra, and she has music out. So the power is in me is I'm excited being her father and her manager to be able to help her get to new heights, because she can sing and because she's putting it out there, and she's extremely shy, extremely, she had and maybe a little bit has anxiety issues with the shyness, but she's really working through it, being able to really sing in front of people and talk to people now. So the power of music is huge, and I think that power of music is what helps the world go around.
Definitely. I know my niece loves music.
Okay.
You just, well, it's not even just the music, but it's the artist.
Okay.
She has her favorite artist, and because she has it, she wants you to have it.
Okay.
She feels like, oh, we don't like that one. Why don't we like? Because no, we just don't like. But we like this one. And so if you if I need to, just really get next to her on getting something done, I said, well, pretend that this was this person.
Right.
And it just changes the whole atmosphere.
I love it.
Right.
I love it.
You can get to know somebody by tapping into the type of music that they like.
Right.
For me personally, I love all kinds of music. My music will go from Tupac to Fred Hammond to Garth Brooks to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
I love music.
Girl, I heard your whiskey and wine the other day.
Oh my good whiskey, yeah.
I thought about you.
I love all types of music, and for me, I can't do nothing without music. When I was in college, I had to study with music in the background. I had to play some Ozzy Brothers or some Luther Vandross or something, and it's hard for me to concentrate if I don't have that extra
noise
tune in the background. It's just, music is everything for me.
Right.
But the powerful thing about music, like you said, it is an influence. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we look at the negative more than we look at the positive, because music creates jobs.
Absolutely.
Music is very uplifting to so many people, but just creating the different types of jobs with different personality types.
Right.
You can find music in anything. Mm-hmm. Like if you really study it and pay attention, I think it's Lil Jon. Lil Jon has a contract with one of the video games, GTA, or one of the video games where he does all the producing for the video game music. It's like you can find music everywhere in places that you didn't even realize music is. It's like you walk in, it's like, they do play music here, don't they? And that's the powerful thing. And if you think about how music has changed over the years, even though, what is it, like eight different notes? I'm not a musician, so as far as the B flat and the A and the C, I don't know all the different notes and all that, but it's only a few of them. But you can make so many different melodies with just the 7 or 8 notes that you have. That's powerful. That somebody can have the artistic ability to come up with all kinds from Beethoven to, it's a beautiful thing that, like the Indians, they rain danced.
Right.
And they made music with their voices. If you ever go to a powwow, I'm Native American, so if you go to a powwow, you hear them singing and beating a drum, they're making the music with their voices. Okay. So their voice is an instrument in itself.
Kind of like beatboxing.
Yeah, like beatboxing.
But You didn't know that I could do a little beatbox.
Oh, Jesus. You gonna let us hear it? He's gonna let us hear it.
I'm going to do it later. I mean,
okay. You gonna tease us.
I don't want to mess you up. Yeah. I'm like, man, I didn't know you could do that. I want to know if y'all heard of a singer called Bryan Adams. He's one of my favorites. And he's a guy that I used to, I mean, I guess I listened to him. I know y'all know exactly who I'm talking about, but I started listening to him a long time ago. He still does music now, but his name is Bryan Adams. Mm-hmm. He's Caucasian, and he has a couple of songs that's really known. And I bet you don't know because you've never heard of him, have you? I got you, right? I got you stumped.
I'll probably know his songs.
Oh. How about you, Miss Doris? You heard of him?
He's a country artist, right?
I love music, but I am not big on really artists because I love the music when I hear it and I start flowing. Then I learn who the artist is.
Well,
so
I may have to play it for these guys on the break so they can know what the deal is.
So we can know Bryan Adams.
Adams.
I can add him to my playlist.
I love 2 of his songs, so I'm gonna definitely let you guys hear it.
See, he called himself a fan. He only know 2 songs.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I know a bunch of them, but those are my 2 favorites.
All right, okay.
So
I bet you don't know who Big Crit is.
No, I don't know.
I love Montgomery. Are you a fan of Montgomery?
Oh, I see you putting it back on.
See?
I don't know, but I'd love to know who that
Bumping
is.
on Sunset is awesome.
Okay, see, I want to check that out. Bumping on Sunset. Guys, we're going to be bumping on Sunset real soon.
Bumping on Sunset.
Well, our next topic, we want to talk about the importance of education. Mm-hmm. So my take is having education in an area helps people think, feel, and behave in a way that contributes to their success and improves not only their personal satisfaction, but also their community. In addition, education develops human personality, thoughts, dealing with others, and prepares people for life experiences. So I think it's needless to say, education is important, and it doesn't have to be just one kind, right? There's a college type of education. That's important if you're trying to go get a corporate job or go do something like that as pertains to anything, as it ranges from being a doctor down to anything that is a corporate job. But you don't even have to go to school to become a millionaire, billionaire. You can just go take classes for different fields and trades and be able to either make a nice living or apply all those things to your life to be able to make money in those fields, right? And if you're able to kind of do both, then that gives you more options. So education is very important because knowledge is the key. No matter what it is, whether it's college, school, whether it's just learning from reading books, learning from YouTube, learning from other people, it's better to improve your education because that is what's needed in this world. How about you, Ms. Doris?
I agree with you. Education is very, very, very important. Mm-hmm. And there are different aspects up to learning. There's different learning styles.
Okay.
Education, when you get into learning, skill sets, you talked about corporate world, that those are skill sets that you go to acquire to do the type of functions that's required to complete the task that you'll be facing. So there are different types of skill sets that we need for different environments. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I did programming, I had to learn the language of programming. Right. When I was and still am doing insurance, I had to learn the language that's in insurance. Okay. When I do anything, everything has structure. Everything has a skill set, everything has its own language that you have to get into. Even learning the different artists. Okay. When first you hear it, there's a desire, you like it, you desire it, then you have a desire to learn more about that artist. And what else do that? Well, if I like this, what else can they do? What else have they done? Right. So education is very important. It piques interest in every different area of your life.
I love it.
Well, for me, knowledge is power. So I try to make sure it's a thin line between education and school. Oftentimes people will go to school and go to school and go to school and they'll pay all this money to go to school and they're not really being educated. Right. So I try to get people to understand you never stop learning. That's education. Regardless of who you're learning from, like you said, you can be learning from somebody who's smarter than you, your mentor. Going to college don't necessarily equal being educated.
Right.
But there are certain trades and certain skills. If you're going to be a doctor, yes, please go to college, right? Because there's so much you got to learn about the human body that you can't just talk to somebody and be like, hey, come here, Dr. James, let me cut on your bicep. Right. No.
Yeah,
but you got to go to college for that. You got to go get a lot of school for that.
Right.
But certain skill sets that you learn from people, you may not need to go to school for that. Like, a degree in what? Anthropology.
Okay.
Anthropology degree is the study of cultures.
Okay.
And while that sounds fun, I wouldn't pay $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 to get an anthropology degree.
Right.
When you know there's no jobs, you have to create a job in anthropology because you're just studying other cultures. Like the Jeopardy questions, these are the people that go research the answers to those questions.
Right.
But it's like, why get a degree in that when you really can just go study other people and learn about their culture without actually having to pay to be educated in it.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? So you really want to, it's a thin line with knowledge and education to me. So be careful the cost of education.
Well, when you say that, though, when you do say the thin line, I really thought that you were going to say the thin line between love and hate. That's what I thought you were going to say, Brittnaiye. But no, I'm just joking, guys. I've been waiting to say that because when I heard it, I just couldn't wait.
He couldn't
but
resist.
I didn't want to mess it up.
He could not resist.
I couldn't resist.
The opportunity to say the thin line.
I didn't want to mess it up. Did you ever see that movie? Because you seen that movie?
I have that movie.
You know what I'm talking about?
Doris is over it. Like
Okay.
she's over it. She was like, Dr. James is.
Well, I would like to say that even touching on what he said about an anthropologist, though there are many ways of learning certain things, you still want to take the fact that they still are important because everybody's not going to go out and learn different things. So there's a person that goes and kind of brings it all together and knits it together for us.
Right.
That we don't have to spend hundreds of dollars going different places to learn.
Right.
You know, I can sit here and learn it. And oh wow. And then if something out of there really piques my interest,
Right.
I'm going to spend the money to find out what it is to satisfy the hunger that I want to know about it.
I love it.
So yeah, it's everything is important and education is important, but the biggest one is the desire to want to do it, the desire to learn it. It has to be in you because, like you say, you could pay $100,000, put it there, and I know if you ain't in it,
you ain't in it.
That's just $100,000 sitting there, baby. Okay. But it has to pique the interest.
Well, we're going to close out that segment, and on our next segment, we're going to talk about Ambassador Symposium, and we'll talk about that next. Dr. James McConnell Show with co-hosts Brittnaiye Wise and Doris Atkins. We are back. But one thing I like to say before we move on to this segment is, I love me some me.
Jesus.
This segment is called Ambassador Symposium, which is our business segment. We want to talk about the importance of data in business. I'm going to start with you, Ms. Doris. Give us the...
Okay. Data is important. Data is in every business.
Okay.
Data is basically bits of information. And it's very important. Without information, without communication, we don't have anything.
Right.
Well, that's not entirely true because we can have information just by movement, sign language, and all of that.
Right.
However, but in business, data is very important. It's a way of communication. It's letting us know what we're doing, how we're doing, and whether we need improvement or not.
Right.
So in business, data is very important.
Well, my take on data is very important. And so what I do for data is I have certain surveys that I may send to certain customers where I may ask them questions about money or questions about making money or questions about whatever you want to find out. So typically, if you can get about 50 answers to those questions, it can give you a nice, like out of the 8 surveys, 7 surveys I have, I say at least 5 of them have over 100 to 150 responses. Mm-hmm. The other 4 or 5 may have 50, 70, 80. But once you get over 50 responses, you'll have knowledge and intelligence on a certain topic. And this is what I mean. So let's say I have one survey that I think asks 5 questions. What do you want to? How do you want to make money? What would you like to make it in out of these options? Would you like to make it at home or make it in the classroom or both? Or would you like to make it in real estate or stock market or blah? And once they answer those questions, the survey I have may put them into a graph. And that graph will say, after about 50 people, I start looking at it. Mm-hmm. The graph will say 67% of people want to make money here. 71% of people want to make it in these fields. So what that does, it does 2 things. When I'm doing a certain person, let's say if I did a survey on you and you answered a certain way, then if you say I want to do it from home, I like to do it in real estate, and I like to do it in a class setting. Or I like to not do it at home, I like to do it in class. Well, what that would tell me is now I can focus my presentation on, you come into the class, I focus on real estate because that's what you told me. Mm-hmm. And that helps you on a one-on-one basis. Mm-hmm. And then 2, the collective view, when I see 71% want to do it from home, now when I meet a person, every single person I meet, I know 7 out of 10 times they want to make money from home. So that means I can just about predict what you want. So everyone I meet, 10 people I'm going to say, okay, I'm sure you want to make money from home, so blah, 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 blah. 7 out of 10 is going to agree with me. So that means I'm already predicting in their mind what they really want. So if I know that they really want to make money from home, and 80% of people want to make money with make money online apps instead of on their cell phone apps. So now I know, okay, I need to talk about only making money from online instead of on the cell phone apps. That way, now that you know what, he's right on the money. And that's what the data is all about. The data is about being able to predict what the customer wants. And that's what the data is all about.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so I agree. I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head, Dr. James. Data helps with retention in your business. So right. Even when you might have somebody new, like you said, you're meeting somebody new and you can almost predict what they want. But then once you get them in and you want to keep them in and retaining those customers, having that calculated data is good for making sure that you are on the right track with each of the people that you already have as customers.
Right.
I know the Dallas library, the main library, has a database system where you can search demographics, mm-hmm. and you can look it up by zip codes, by income, by ethnicity, and it'll break down all of those demographics. And in business, how do you determine your target market if you don't know who the demographic is?
That's right.
If you're in an area like El Paso, Texas is known for Hispanics.
Right.
Why would you go and not cater to that demographic, go down there and do something different?
Right.
And you not catering to the Hispanic population?
Absolutely.
But because you know your target market, you have that data, you can go to different areas and say, okay, when I come down here, this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
So that's the powerful thing about having data. For sure.
Love it. I love it. So I do believe that. All right. Our next topic is, can hobbies and gifts turn into a business? Miss Brittnaiye?
So I guess since I came up with the topic, I got to talk first.
There you go.
So I mean, if you look around you, almost every business was a hobby or a gift to some degree. We talked about music earlier. That usually starts out as a hobby for most people.
Absolutely.
But then once you get into it, you realize how much money you can really make as a music business. I think almost anything that you like doing, the Bible says, if your gift will make room for you.
That's right.
So like me, I love to dance, so I started a dance business.
Okay.
And it's been, I used to, believe it or not, when I was younger, I had DJs pay me to be their party starter.
Oh man,
So,
that is awesome.
so like you can almost maybe find somebody to pay you to do anything, right? So they would say, okay, well, I got this event, I got this gig, I'm gonna be DJing.
Right.
I'm gonna pay you to come and just start the party.
Right.
Cause I don't need music, I don't need alcohol, I don't need drugs. All you gotta do is push play, and I start dancing.
Right.
So that was kind of my dance business, where I'm partnered with them, and I'm VIP because the DJ want me to be there, right? So that, I mean, I've seen people make candles and make that into a business. I mean, look at Yankee Candle. Huh?
Right.
Did somebody just sit around and say, you know what, I'm gonna start a candle business?
Right.
Or was it a hobby first?
It was a hobby first. That's true. That's true. Ms. Doris?
Oh, I agree tremendously. You can definitely turn a hobby or a gifting into a business. God gives each of us gifts and talents.
That's right.
And those things, once we tap into them, because anything you do and you love to do it, you can do it without it being paid, that's your gift.
I love it.
That's your gift. And therefore you don't get bored with gift. You can get, your body gets tired in segments, but that desire, that love is there.
That's right. Well, can hobbies and gifts turn into a business? Absolutely, because you can go as far as starting with the basketball players, right? Playing basketball in the hood, chilling with your friends, and it turns into $1 million business,
right?
Or somebody that likes playing baseball, like you say, somebody likes to sing, and they just singing in the shower, or singing at home, or singing with the grandmother, and all that good stuff, and it turns into something more serious. Because they turn it, and that could be a gift too. I mean, hobbies can be, let's say if like I remember going outside, putting the ball into the ground, kind of like golf. I remember doing that. Now, of course, that didn't turn into anything for me, but imagine how many golfers that's turned into a professional thing.
Right.
On a smaller scale, let's say that your hobby and gift, it doesn't have to always turn into something that turns you into greatness. Maybe this hobby and gift keeps you into shape. Maybe it keeps you happy. Maybe you're exercising.
Right.
That's your hobby, right? Something that just, at the end of the day, it makes you happy, it makes you feel good, and it makes you move forward in your life. So absolutely, I believe in that. Our next topic is structure in business. So, Ms. Atkins, talk to us about structure in business.
Structure in business. All business need data. All of our stuff flows together. All business need love in order for it to thrive, and a desire. And all business needs structure.
That's right.
We have to have a structure. We have to have because let's just take the house.
Right.
If we want to build a house, of course, we got to find the first thing. We have that desire. We want to. What do I want my house to look like? What does I want to have? What do I want to have in it?
Right.
So that's I see the mental picture. Then I got to choose my location. Where do I want my house built?
Right.
Do I want to be in the rural area, or do I want to be in the city? I am imposed to kind of in the middle because I love convenience.
Okay.
So I don't want to have to drive 10 miles to the grocery store. I don't want to have to drive 5 miles to the nearest hospital if I need to. I want to be close.
That's awesome.
To anything. So you got to have your location. You got to have your idea, your floor plan of your blueprint of what you want the house to look like. Of course, you see it in your mind, then you draw it on paper.
Right.
That's your structure. Where your bedrooms are. How many bedrooms you're going to have? Are you going to have a theater room? Are you going to have a game room? Are you going to have, where's your laundry room going to be located?
Right.
How do you want your kitchen laid out?
Right.
These things are important. The flow has to be there, but you got to see it first.
Right.
And so there's structure. So once you have a company, once you have gotten the location, gotten the builders, you've got your floor plan in place. Now the next one is put it in action.
That's right.
Get your crew together. Your team. Who's gonna be my carpenter? Who's gonna be my electrician? You know, who's gonna be my plumber?
Right.
All those things. So each of those are individual things that you bring collectively to create my dream house.
I love that.
Amen.
I love that. That is awesome. I mean, structure in business. I guess my take on structure in business would be more how I structure and how we structure our business. Like, you have to have it organized as far as, let's say, you'll spend, let's say me personally, I may spend the morning to 1, 2, or 3 o'clock doing dent repair, body work, car detail, paintless dent repair and hail damage repair, sometimes car detailing. So I may start my day off that way, knowing it's structured that way. Even though I'll take phone calls for other things, but I'll start my day off focusing on that. So I may be dressed more casual. I may be dressed more, I'm in a vehicle that has those signs on it. And so once that day is over, or once that time is over, then I'll go and then I'll change. Then I'll go put on something like this or something else. And then maybe I'm going to do a therapy session. Maybe I'm going to teach a class. Maybe I'm going to meet customers for something. Maybe I'm coming to do a show. So there's structure. So I kind of know, even though the time may not be etched in stone, today, since we decided to do a show at a certain time, I took care of what I had to do earlier as far as business, the structure of getting that done, then the structure of getting into the next stage, which is doing our shows, and then the next stage after this is some other stuff on the computer. So you have to have structure, because if you don't, what will happen is you will kind of forget about doing, and plus you have to have that to-do list that we talked about. You have to, and it's hard to always, first of all, man, I'll have 8 to 10 things on there, and I'll do good for about a week, and then I'll forget. When I forget, I won't be able to get to 2 or 3 things. Then the next, then 2 or 3. Before you know it, I got 28 things on my to-do list for every day. So what happens is, once I get tired of seeing 28 and 30 something things, I will get a book. I have a book, and I write down the excess, and I have a book of 50 things I gotta still do, and I write them down, and I cut it back down to 5, and now I feel back. Okay, I'm back on track. And what happened is, when I get all 5 things done in a day, I go to the book and start hitting the things that I hadn't done. And that's the structure that I do as far as business is concerned.
Oh, okay. Well, this is right up my alley, because I'm a strategic planner.
Right.
So for me, I start with the structure. Usually people will act on an idea and they act on impulse and they just go with it.
Right.
No, I gotta have some kind of structure first. I'm one of them. Okay, I want to get to that bridge over there. How am I get there? Right. Because some people I want to get to the bridge, and they just go straight for the bridge, and then they find out the bridge is out. Right. So now they got to go back and redo it. No, I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to read and pay attention and try to figure out what's the best way to get there. Right. And to me, it's like air traffic controllers. Air traffic controllers, you can't see them, but their job is like completely the most important job in the air, to get you to land safely on the ground, right? Right. So if they got 3 flights coming in simultaneously, we're gonna have to plan this out. That's structure. That's why, if this flight is delayed, then they gotta move over there and look at this flight, and they gotta determine, no, you can't take off into this one. It's a process. It looks chaotic, but when it's structured right, everybody can do what they need to do safely. And that's what structure is. That's laying the foundation and duplicating yourself in a way where you don't have to keep doing the job over and over. When you have somebody that you can do, I can tell you to do A, B, C, D. I can tell you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can go over here and I can do X, Y, Z. Now it don't matter who I plug in to do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still the same. Right. That's the structure of it. So you don't have to keep redoing it and keep coming back to it. Now I can go over and do what I need to do. That's the power of business. Is duplication. I love it. That's what McDonald's has. They just made it what it is. They just made it as what it is now. Right. The system. Thank you. The fast food, going through the fast food line. That wasn't invented until McDonald's said, okay, let's make a fast food line. Now every restaurant got a fast food got the drive-through line, right? Absolutely. So that's structure. somebody had to have enough sense to say, okay, how am I gonna duplicate this? And now Ray Kroc long been dead,
Right.
and he's still selling McDonald's.
Still selling McDonald's.
Like, and
With his family getting it, right?
Yeah, right. And no matter which one you go into, the food is the same. The workers might be different, but the food is the same. The look of it is the same. It
That's
don't
right.
matter what country you go to.
That's right.
That's duplication. That's having the structure and laying the foundation and saying, okay, we got this set. Now I can move on to something else.
I love it. So we're at the end of our show, and we have something for you viewers. Ms. Brittnaiye, you go first.
Well, you can reach me at Wisdom Talk with the Phoenix on YouTube. All my social media platforms are Brittnaiye Wise. You can write into my show, The Gold Mine, which is at BrittnaiyeWise@gmail.com. You write in, I'll give you 5 different ways that you can make money with your business. If you tell me your business idea, I'll talk about it on the show, and I can give you some different ways and different tips so you can make money in your business. And I love me some meat.
Oh man, Ms. Doris, your turn.
Okay, well, my name is Doris Atkins, and you can reach me at 214-970-1376. Oh, I'm sorry, 214-970-1376, and I can help you with your insurance needs. I can, it's something I do on a daily basis where I help people make decisions. So let me help you make yours. And you know what? I love me some meat.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. This is the end of our show. You guys, you can contact me. I'm Dr. James McConnell Company. I'm founder and CEO of MBC Global Enterprises, and you can contact me at 469-765-5327. It should be on the screen. Her information and Ms. Doris's information is on the screen right now. Mine is showing up right now. 469-765-5327. You can go to my website, spelled out atmbc.com. But I'm going to make something even sweeter. Everything that they just said, if you use what they have and what I have, call her for any of your insurance needs, call her for all the needs that she just told you. Just for using us, right? At the completion of using us, we're going to give you a complimentary touchscreen MP4 player on the house from us, on the house, just for using our services. Keep that in mind. If you were going to get insurance, if you were going to use whatever we've talked about, you're going to do it anyway. Well, now just for using us, we're going to give you something free just because you used us. So thank you for joining us, and you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you later, and yes, I love me some me.